Right, welcome back. Okay, right, I want to do just a little bit of a tidy up now. I've sort of finished with my curves. So as you saw before, I'd sort of created a group there for our curves, which you can see. So what I want to do is I want to separate out my planar surfaces, which are the surfaces we just created, into their own little group. So I'm just going to select them all by pressing the Shift key and just selecting between them, and then I'm going to press Control G just to group them, and then they're on their own and independent of the curves, or they will be. Okay, so what I need to do now is I just want to do a bit of a house clean. So I'm going to come into here and just double click and just call this curves. Okay, and in here I'm going to call this planars. Don't have to label the individual letters at this point. And now I'm going to select my curves there, and I just want to come across to the layer editor over here. If that's not displaying, make sure that you've got the default layout set up. So you've got, this is for the views here, but you should have it on the right hand side. When you click it, the attribute should come up. You should also get this layer box, and I'm just going to create a new layer, but I'm going to create a new layer and assign selected objects, which are my curves, because I've got them selected in the outliner. So I'm going to go like this. This way I can then turn those off. Now I'm going to select my planars, which are these, and I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to put the objects selected into that as well. So I'm just going to label these as well. Planar, save, and in there double click and call this curves. Okay, oh, you might have a conflict because it's called curves inside the outliner, so I'll call it curves 1, click save, and then I can just turn those off. I'm just going to come over here and just turn on wireframe. Wireframe on shaded, which is there, allows me to see these. Now these are in fact Nurbs. They're not polygons, so I want to make these polygons and start converting them. Now there's loads of ways of doing this. You could stick with Nurbs and start working, but I prefer to create polygons from this. Let me just show you, if you don't do that, what you can do to work just with Nurbs. And we'll cover Nurbs in a little bit. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the individual letter of the Nurbs, and I'm going to center my pivot point. Okay, that will center it in the middle of there. And you should do exactly the same with all the others, but I'm showing you two methods, one working with Nurbs and my preferred method, which is converting these to polygons and then working with them. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a duplicate of this. So I'm going to select it and I'm going to press the hold on. I'm going to press the Control D, and then I'm going to move it away, and as you see, it's made a duplicate of this. Now what I want to do is select the actual trim path, and on this one I want to select the trim edge of that as well. It should be exactly the same on both sides. Okay, and then I want to do a loft between the two, and as you see, it's lofted between these two. And so you can go ahead and select another trim edge, press the Shift key to make sure, and then right hand click trim edge, hold the Shift key again, and do another loft. So you can build your letters up like this. And you can also set the amount of isopalms. If you come over to the attribute editor here, and we can select our loft and how many section spans we've got. So I'm going to move this to 1 and 1 here. Okay, now you can also do multiple. So I'm holding that, I'm right hand clicking, and I'm going trim edge, and I'm double clicking in there. Then I'm going to come up here, I'm going to hold the shift key, I'm going to double click there, then I'm going to double click this edge. That should be them all. Then I'm going to hold the shift key to select this piece, I'm going to right hand click, go trim edge, and do the same. Hold the shift key whilst you're multiple selecting, and I can just see that edge there. And now you've got them all selected in one go. I can also do a loft, but you have to be careful because it will do it in order. So probably best that you just click this for now as you're learning. Trim edge, did it, loft. Okay, go back over them afterwards and set the isopalms. Hold the shift key, right hand click, hold the shift key to collect that, connect that up, and finally this edge, shift key, trim, shift key, and loft again. And then come down here, select these parts, and 1, and select this top edge, and 1. And if I just turn the wireframe unshaded off, you can see it's now quite nice. It's nice and sharp. So you can use that method, or you can use another method. So I've got this, and this is a Nurbs, but I can convert this into a polygon. So if I select one of these edges, we can see in the outliner it's as part of the planar pieces. So I can go and modify this, and I can convert it from Nurbs to polygon. So if I throw up the option box there, I'm going to go general, and I'm just going to apply, and it will create this. I'm just going to close that, and I'm just going to move this away. Now this is a polygon. It's 4 faces, it's a polygon, it's not a Nurbs. This is a Nurbs, this is a polygon. And when you right hand click, you'll see different options come up like face. But the great thing about this is I can take this, and using the polygon tools here, I can just do a extrude. Now I would make sure that you are centered your pivot point, and then just do an extrude there, and you can extrude, oh, hold on, what's going on? You can extrude this back or forwards. So that's the 2 methods there for creating your geometry. 1, leave it as Nurbs, or 2, convert it to a polygon. And so for this, I'm going to convert them to polygons. So we'll do that in the next lesson. Well, I'll be back to how this was before. In fact, I can just come in here and delete all these pieces back out and be back to where we were. And just delete that off. Okay, so we're back to Nurbs, and in the next lesson I'll start to create these into polygons. And we will have a couple of problems with the polygons, because there's a lot of faces on here that we don't need, so we can actually optimize our geometry at the same time.